How do you name your MSP or new IT company? Before you settle in on Technology Solutions LLC, let's talk about why that might be the worst naming out there. And truthfully, there is a little bit of a strategy to picking a great name for an MSP, and it will help. It'll help with getting new customers, it'll help with people remembering it, and it also leaves a massive first impression. How are you doing? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. I'm here in my studio in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I want to talk to you, or this video is designed to help you as a probably newer MSP starting out take the first leaps of faith. And this is part of our basics foundation courses where it's completely free on YouTube, teaching you how to build your MSP. On our channel, there is a section on a playlist for beginner or like the MSP basics. If you want to learn more about us, head over to growth-generators.com. There's a ton of stuff from programs designed specifically for brand new MSPs, or if you want to jump in with everybody else, there is a membership MSP Heroes. Comes with the CRM, website templates, everything that you're going to need to build and start your MSP and grow your MSP for years and years and years to come. But if you want to check out, we have tons of free resources under our resources section, guides, tips, tricks, tools, trainings. I mean, the whole list. If it's labeled free, it is completely free. There's also vendor perks that you get just from watching this channel, or heck, maybe even earning a subscribe button to this channel. I would appreciate it. So let's talk about naming your MSP. I have a ton of different names up here from local MSPs near me, but I want to, before I even go into their names and the psychology of all of this and why it's important, we need to talk about why names matter. Now, you, me, everybody out there has a name. We also have a social security number, but it would be really weird if we called somebody 156-278-3690, right? We have to have a name for people, and your name matters. Now, I take a lot of pride in my name, although I didn't name myself. I think my parents did a pretty good job, and I'd be willing to bet your parents did a great job with your name as well. But I'm sure we all have that name that's like super catchy. For some people, it is Harrison. Harrison is the name. For other people, it's Dominic, Patrick, Michael. It doesn't matter. Susan, Jill. It does not matter. But what does matter is the psychology of that first impression for the name. Names have impact and trust. It also matches the person that it's associated with in many cases. But with our business, it's a little bit different. Names can impact because we can name our business whatever we want. We have to think about what name leaves the best first impression with our target market. And we want a name that is memorable, hopefully impacts trust or is easy to trust and has a massive impact on people. And three, is easy for search engine optimization. Now, I'm not saying you should name yourself like Charlotte IT Solutions, right? That might be a little crazy, although, hey, it's probably not the worst idea in the world. But you don't want to do Northwestern IT Technologies. You want to have something a little bit catchy. Elevate Technologies, Blue Harbor Systems, something that people can remember. And it doesn't have to be super crazy, but I do want to give you some of the tips, or better yet, some of the most common types of names out there that I've been able to boil down, because hundreds, if not thousands of you are on my email list. There are tons of you in our completely free Discord full of MSPs. And every once in a while, I go in there and say, hey, whose website can I look at? And I try to look at people's websites and understand the naming convention that they actually get. And there's three that kind of come up as the most common, right? We have the first one, which is descriptive. It's clear and bland. Managed Tech Pros, right? And I don't nobody take any offense to this if you're thinking about something. Then you have the abstract. Now, in this case, there is the randomly completely new names like carbon systems, right? Growth generators, like, or it's a completely made up name like Datto, right? No extra clout to them, but it's an interesting name. Think about it, right? You also have Rolex. These words that are completely non-existent in the world, where it's more of that abstract side of it. And then you have a little bit of a hybrid in there. And I think this is kind of where the sweet spot lies, right? You want to have a bit of a hybrid where, maybe it's something catchy like Iron Edge, right? Simplex IT. I'm just coming up with some crazy names. It actually took me, this was the longest part of it, right? But I see so many interesting names out there, and I'm going to share with you what I think are great names, and what I think are less than great names when it comes to it. And I'm going to jump in, share it on my computer here. So a local company, their name is NB Technologies. Eh, okay. And then their website is nbtechllc.com. Now, I will also tell you, for you watching this channel, if you're thinking about a name, also check to make sure the domain is available. GoDaddy, Namecheap, it doesn't matter what platform, but don't put in there LLC. Hear me out. Your name is very important. Has to be easy to remember, has to be trusting, has to leave an impression, and it has to be easily found, right? We want to stick to not create changing letters for certain things. For example, if you're going to do computer, keep it as computer, not CO or K, CKOM, whatever it is. I've seen a million variations of it. But if you're going to come up with any type of a name, don't put LLC in the URL. Nobody is ever going to remember it. It's just a good piece of advice. Next, we have VC3. It's pretty simple to remember. Now, it's completely abstract. There's no descriptive. I don't even know what it stands for, to be honest with you, but I think it's kind of catchy, but it is one of those abstract. Then you have @net. Okay, kind of a bit of a hybrid between like a descriptive and an abstract because it's an @ sign and the net. Okay. Sterling Technology Solutions. Okay, a little bit more of a descriptive slash hybrid type thing here. I love this one. WorkSmart IT Services. WorkSmart.com. I mean, 10 out of 10 name, in my opinion. It's super, super catchy. And I would recommend doing a little bit of homework on the name that you want. When you have a name that you think is super, super catchy, once again, please go to GoDaddy or any other resource to go buy your domain. It doesn't particularly matter, but you could just go there, check it out, right? If I wanted to do like Iron Edge, right? I'm sure that this is taken. I would be willing to bet probably most of my marbles. IronEdge.life, right? IronEdge.club, life, world, me, right? None of this is, it's obviously not available. But if I did, IronEdgeTech.com, that might be, there it is, IronEdgeTech.com, gone, right? So even if I think it's a good name for a website or a good name for a business, make sure you check to make sure it's available as a domain. Makes life a million times easier. Now, I also want to give you a little bit of a naming framework. Some of the things that I like to see or I think are kind of interesting is you want to start with your value and the theme, right? That is the important part of the name. You want to trust, trust, grow, speed, security, whatever it is, technology, right? You want to pick a core word that people can remember, maybe even adding what's called a modifier, or I call it a modifier to it, right? So I wanted to do like, or better yet, here, this side, growth generators, or heck, even carbon systems, right? It's a system, and then it's kind of got that core word of carbon in there, right? Growth, and then generators. And the core word, in my opinion, is generators. Look, you don't have to be an expert in this. It's a cool, catchy name that you enjoy at the end of the day that's easy for people to remember. But you could add that modifier and then once again, check to see if it's available. And if it's not, pro tip, go to ChatGPT and tell them about who you are, what you do, and it'll probably give you some great names. I don't even know if I came up with growth generators originally. And truth be told, the name before growth generators was Baron Media Group. And my last name, if you didn't figure it out, is Baron, right? Use a tool to check if it's available. And also, if you want to get super crazy, check social handles. And if you want to go the craziest route, check trademarks. Usually, if the website's not there, there's a high likelihood that it's available across all the platforms, but not always. Now, I do want to give you a couple little things to watch out for when it comes to mistakes I see people making. You do not want to use initials. I don't recommend it, and that's why I don't love NB Tech. People aren't going to remember the initial. Just happens that way. They're not going to remember the 2, 3, 4, 5 letters that come with it to make it a name. Don't make your stuff overly complicated. Technology advisors in Raleigh, North Carolina.com. That's crazy. I don't know anybody typing in that many words into Google, and you probably are laughing because you wouldn't do that either, right? And you just want to make sure that you don't limit yourself to future growth. There is a company here in Charlotte called Charlotte IT. It's a good name if you're gonna have like branches all around the country, but come up with something that, if especially if you plan on going outside of your area, don't make it Charlotte IT, right? Especially do it like North Carolina IT or something similar to that. And just avoid hard to spell or pronounce names. I've seen some people come up with really interesting, cool names. The reason Rolex is so successful is because it's said the same in every language across the world. It's a made up word. It's easy for people to remember how to spell and remember typing it in. That was part of the name of why they did it. Think about it. If you think you think somebody's going to commonly misspell that, don't pick that name. I'm sorry. But it makes life a lot easier and makes it easier for customers to remember you and to find you. I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I love the heck out of you guys always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.